guys, I got my 2016 Lotus Paper Company planner in the mail this weekend, and I thought I would do a comparison to the 2005, see what the changes are, and just kind of show you what the differences were and show you the new planner. I am dealing with already winter lighting, so there's going to be a glare and it's just the way that it's going to be, so you'll just have to bear with me. It's supposed to rain all week, and so either I keep putting this off until maybe the sun pokes out or we have to deal with glare. Sorry. Anyways, this is my 2015 Lotus Paper Company planner, as you can tell, because it says 2015 on it. So the covers do not seem to be really that much difference in look. This one, the new covers are thicker than the old covers were. That's nice. I didn't really have a problem with the thickness of the old one, so it's a nice feature to have it a little thicker on the laminate. I will say it bit me, like my minion. The edges on the new one are very, very sharp, and I went to do this to flip the page and it sliced my thumb. So I'm already starting 2016 with a wound. But I did find that the edges on the new one are kind of sharp. So if you get one of the soft cover ones, be sure that you're very careful with that. I'm just going to take a little sander to it and fix that. Yeah, the covers seem to be, relatively the same. I do like that my name is more centered on the page this year than it was last year, so that's a great improvement. I love the dot pattern. I thought it would be a little more gold, but I love that it's kind of watery colored. So I like how it turned out. I'm very happy with that. The rings do seem to be a bit bigger. I don't know if that's just in my head or not. I guess here's a ruler, let me find out. Yeah, the old rings were 1.25 inches and the new rings seem to be 1.5 inches. So that's nice because I like to put stuff in my planners. So it's nice to have the bigger ring. So yeah, great improvement there. Okay, so let's open up here, and I'm trying to see if I can keep it close, but still on the, still in the frame. Got it? Okay, so that's the front cover. We'll just flip to the back cover, see if there's any changes there since we've got the books closed. It looks like the only difference is she's changed her logo. It used to say Handmade in Beautiful Bend, Oregon. It now says by Christina. Other than that, it looks like it's relatively identical. Yeah, same thicker cover on the back. Okay, so you open your, now I've been using mine for a year, so it's not going to be pristine and pretty. I do love planner videos where they have the year before to compare it to and there's nothing in it, and I think, holy cow, that's a lot of money. So mine is used because I used it. So I'm forewarning you on that. When you open the planner, the pages are the front. Let's see how we're gonna, oh, I should say this. It came in a priority box, in bubble wrap, and in tissue paper. This is the same as how it was shipped last year. My only suggestion would be is to stuff some paper in there. They do tend to get bounced around and beamed around in this, and it would, a little bit of paper in there would have been great. But and then last year's tissue paper was blue. This year it's white. That's irrelevant to me, but that's how it was shipped. You get your receipt, and I got a nice little note from Christina. So show that before we get going here. So we're going to do a lot of sliding because I tried to do it with it zoomed back up, but then you couldn't see any of the details, which is kind of pointless in trying to see the differences. So the front cover, plain. Laminate, they're both laminate, but other than that, they're plain. The inside cover is different this year. Let's get this flipped out of the way here. The inside cover looks like this. Alright, so this was last year's pattern. This is this year's pattern. I don't really have a preference one way or the other. They sit open on my desk. I never look at these pages again until these videos come up. So that's the way that is. But very pretty, very pretty. Yeah, information page. You flip to the inside And you have the same, you know, it does look like the paper is a different color this year though. Let me look here. Doesn't that look slightly different? It does. Like this is more of a cream and this is more of a white. Maybe it's just my eyeballs. Anyways, the inside cover, or the first page, is the holidays 2015, 16, 17. So it looks like that stayed exactly the same from the year before. Again, we have the year at a glance 2015. If you'll notice, the tabs are different this year. Last year it was pastels and they were more of a rounded tab. This year with white lettering. This year they're a brighter color with more of a squared tab with the black writing. I do have to say I have a bit of a trouble reading the darker blue with the black font in it. But other than that, you know, I like the pastels. I'm a pastel person, but the bright colors is a nice change for this year. So, all right, so this is the same. Flip the page. Missed a page. Come here. All right, so these are the same. I'm not gonna bother doing that. They have special dates. Those pages are also the same. Mine just happen to have stuff in them. The one thing I noticed that didn't get fixed from last year is the fact that the pages don't turn at all in this planner. It was one of the only things that I had a problem with it last year, that it is impossible to flip back and forth in this planner because the pages stick. And this is kind of a side tangent, but it was my only complaint I had with the planner last year, and that did not get fixed. They still don't turn. They still don't turn. It needs to be a different hole system. And it's really frustrating for me because I flip back and forth in my planner all the time from the front and the back because I have different sections in it. And it's very, very frustrating for me that they don't turn. So this is what you run into. Anyway, okay, so let's go to the first blank month. Last year's, this year's. My first blank month in my current one is in December. No, well, November, December, so I just figured we'd flip back. But they all look alike in the planner. Okay, they're all alike. Last year you had a monthly image here, and you had a color tab line that went the length of the planner, and then the date, or excuse me, the month was written in white with a rounded tab. This year your page is blank. There's nothing. There's a color tab and your month is written in black. And I did find it a little hard to read the month, speak English here, the month on the darker tabs, but I didn't have any trouble on the other. So that's the first, that's how the month starts. And then when you open your planner, the back, my camera's going, that's a lot of white. When you open it, the back looks like this of the first page of the month. There's the last year's had again the blue color stripe, but there was no month written on the tab. This year, again, the page is blank. The month is written on the tab. I know it's hard to see, but it's there, December. And then she does have a laminate strip on this side to make these a little stronger this year, so that's kind of a nice added feature. When you get to the first page in the planner, they are identical. Oops, sorry guys. They are identical. They're a notes page, and so that is the same from last year to this year, except for the color's a little different. On December and June are a little different. When you open it to the months, the differences that you can see are, again, the color is just a little different. I'm finding only on December and June, so it must have been a dark blue difference. The months are blank, no lines on the new planner. They have lines on every day on the old planner. So that's the only difference that there is between last year's and this year's. You can see the other side here. Again, the only difference is a little bit of the color. And I'm assuming that it's a color change, not a color fade, that's making it different. So I would assume it's a color change. So that's the second half of the month. The first weekly page in it looks like this, and we'll flip around again here. like I said, I tried to do this zoomed out, but then you lose all the detail of the page and can't actually see it up close what it looks like. So the first half of your week looks like this. Again, they are identical through the entire planner. The only difference is, of course, the month and the colors. Last year it said dates here. This year it says appointments. I would have preferred dates simply because I cover these because I don't use dates or appointments. So it would have been a little less to cover, but that's personal choice, not anything to do with the planner design. But other than that, it seems to be identical. It looks like, I'm trying to see if it's different or if it's just shifted different on the page. Hold on here. Yeah, 6.5 last year, and it's a little shy of 6. It's 6 3/8 this year. So these are the boxes where you write are a little bit smaller this year. Not much, not noticeable, but only a lot of these are things that you wouldn't ever know about if you didn't have last year's planner. That's why I'm comparing them. If you didn't have last year's planner, you wouldn't notice 98% of these changes. So that's why I'm doing this video. I haven't seen a comparative from one year to the other, so that's why I'm doing it. If there's anything you'd like to see up closer, of course, just let me know. Other than that, they seem to be absolutely identical. Same with this page. Again, the colors are just a little weaker on this, the new one, than the old one, but I'm thinking it's a color change, not a color fade. That's what it looks like to me anyways. I actually am glad that they're lighter this year because I always cover these boxes up and that'll make it a lot easier. But other than that, they're absolutely identical. And then the weeks just continue to the end of the month, and then you go into, you get notes in January. That's my last year's planner. This year's planner, there's no January because we got a December. In the back, you can get, in the back of your planner, you normally get contact sheets. I traded mine out for just note paper because I don't use the contact sheets. And yeah, so that's a comparative from last year to this year. I would say comparison wise, the only thing I'm disappointed in is we just haven't fixed the page turning problem. And yay, another year of being frustrated with that. Other than that, I like the planner. The edges are a little sharp again. Please be careful with that. I'm happy with I bought it specifically because I like the multitask layout. The price went up a little bit this year on these. I'm not sure why, other than normal inflation, I guess. But the planner itself is relatively 100% like the old one. Except for the tabs are the only color difference change that I noticed. So that's my Lotus Paper Company planner comparison from 2015 to 2016. Also, I have a Happy Planner. If you wanted to see a size comparison to them, it is identical to the same, pretty much exactly the same size as a Happy Planner is. The only difference is that a Happy Planner is just a little bit taller. And I do have a personal planner coming, from personalplanner.com. And so if you're interested in seeing a video on that, leave me a note down below. And I'm not going to do a video on the Happy Planner. Everybody and their dog has done a video on that. So that is my Lotus Paper Company Planner 2016-2015 comparison. Comments, questions, suggestions, leave me a note down below and I will answer what I can. Yeah, y'all have a nice day. I will see you in the next video. Bye now.